Welcome everyone to a heartfelt Father's Day special panel discussion on the Coffee Conversation Show, powered by the Emerging India Forum TIF and a tech partner, Prime Infotech Solution. So, friends, this is a special episode. Like no one has covered a panel discussion or had anything to do with fathers. But today we're exploring a powerful shift in society, how fatherhood is evolving from a role of solely providing to one of deep, hands on partnership. Gone are the days when a father's role ended at the front door. Today's dads are diaper changers, home work helpers, mental health supporters, and role models in vulnerability. Let's open up the space for real talk with our incredible panel of fathers and changemakers who are redefining what it means to be a dad in today's world. Today's theme is the evolving role of fathers from providers to partners. Welcome all my coffee speakers. I'm dedicating this today's panel discussion to Father's Day, which will be coming next week, to my late father. His name is Fateh Ali Virani. He was, what do you say, a dynamic person, music lover, uh, go for play, foodie. So I've got the genes from him to be a foodie, and was a great conversationalist. So let me welcome my first panelist, Rahul Puri. With over
Hi.
25 years of experience across revenue assurance, fraud control, and digital transformation, Rahul currently serves as Senior Vice President at Tata Play Limited. His expertise spans telecom, finance, and operation strategy, making him a thought leader in securing businesses against financial and digital threats. So, welcome, Rahulji, to today's coffee conversation panel discussion on Father's Day.
Thank you so much, Amir. And we were just discussing. So the today's introduction should be pretty simple. That I am a father. I have got a 18-year-old son and a 13-year-old daughter. That's the introduction for today. Rest all
That
is aside for today's discussion.
but audience should know. So you can add your introduction, means your part of your children. So
Yeah, that's
that will
fine.
be good. So my next panelist, Nitin Bhuwania, General Counsel at Smart Parallel Technology and a rare blend of legal intellect and business acumen. With over 15 years of experience across the fintech and BFSI sectors, Nitin brings together the sharpness of a chartered accountant, the depth of a legal expert, and the foresight of a strategic leader. So, welcome, Nitin.
Thank you very much, Amir, and really delighted and much appreciated to bring such a topic for discussion. I am very excited to listen to the my fellow panelists and overall thoughts what we take forward from this discussion.
Wow. So, my third panelist, Anuj Prabhu, a seasoned professional in technology risk, information security, and data protection, with experience spanning across Chroma, SBI Mutual Fund, KPMG India, and more. Anuj has helped businesses safeguard their data and mitigate cyber threats. Currently serving as data security and privacy manager at Chroma, he brings a wealth of knowledge on risk governance, compliance, and emerging security trends. So, welcome, Anuj.
Thanks Amir for having me on the show. And as Rahulji said again, I'm a father of two daughters, and life is currently all about revolving around them. Yeah, looking forward to hearing from the panel on today's discussion. Yeah, thank
Yes.
you.
So my fourth panelist, young father, Kharanshu Parikh, he has carved a niche for himself and equity in the world of wealth management and pre-IPO investments. As a co-founder of Equity, he plays a pivotal role in helping clients navigate financial markets with research-driven strategies. His journey began at PwC, where he gained deep insights into financial risk assessment, later transitioning into the entrepreneurial world with ventures across finance and tourism. So, welcome, Kharanshu. So, brief about your children.
Uh, Thanks so much, Amirji. Honestly, it's a pleasure and privilege. And as I was talking to you earlier, I never expected this call from you. So really feel honored and grateful to be a part of this amazing panel and cohort. I have one son. He's a 3.5-year-old son, and his name is Hriday.
But very good. So, my coffee speakers, the journey doesn't end here. There are many more exciting things like this panel discussion. We are starting with fireside chat. So, Kharanshu, look forward. We are inviting you to the fireside or panel discussion on family offices. So, there is another topic which is really need of the hour. Uh, with Nitin, we are planning to for the CA day to something on CA and lawyers के साथ में because we have got both. So there are different coffee speakers who are CA plus lawyers also. That is dual qualification. So look forward. So there are more interesting with Rahul, Anuj, another topics. अपना we continue the journey. So uh, the rules for the panel discussion will be I'll be uh, say the questions, and anyone from the panelists can come. Then another panelist can add their inputs. That is the way we have kept it open. So I won't take any names because all are very dear to us. So my first question: what's the one life lesson you learned from your father that has stayed with you?
So, Amirji, let me take that privilege. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I lost my father 2 years back, and it's always said that when you have someone around, you don't feel the importance on all that. But I always felt it. I was very close to him, and we used to being very far off away. Also, we used to talk almost on every daily basis. One of the life lessons what I learned from him was being resilient, and being sincere and just putting it through, just striking it, just striving it. That was something. Being resilient was something which I learned from him as my life lesson, and not to give up on anything. And that keeps me still motivated, still encouraged to keep continuing, keep pushing things, keep pushing the boundaries, and being resilient on because. That one word has a lot of meaning. If you just get deeper into it, we'll dive into that. Is not only just standing always, but coming back, falling around, and again pushing back. And facing the heat is what I have learned as a life lesson from my father.
Wow. So I agree with you. I also lost my father to अपना 2022 December. Sorry, on Diwali day I was not there, and
So it's the
ये
same time, Abhijit. Like we also on it was not a Diwali day, but just a few days before Diwali on 2020 in 2022.
बाप
Same
रे,
year.
सही में. And so I'm very happy that God selected what do you say auspicious day for him, and he he was on bed, so that's another story. But he enjoyed his life in that 15 years. He was bedridden for some reasons, but a jovial person till the end. So who's coming next?
So I'd like to go because we are talking
Yeah,
about
yeah, yeah. There's nothing like senior junior.
yeah. So since we are talking about fathers being no more, even I lost my father 2 years back in March 23. And it is very emotional because you only realize as a male how close to your father once he's no more. Until then, you don't actually realize that. And which I felt when the questions came in, it was a very different sort of a conversation that we're going to have, and I would love that. But one thing which stayed with me all around is my father always told me, which I think I'm doing even today at this hour, is stay in the company of successful people and successful thinkers. That in itself will change your horizon of how the way you think and you behave. Company really matters, and that is somehow just one thing really always struck by me. And I have this constant quest that I want to meet people who have done great things, who are doing some amazing stuff, and it's not just and it's absolutely not monetary, but something which is really enterprising and exciting, even as this podcast initiative that you've done of 500 people. It's amazing to be in this company of such people, right? You learn so many things. So this is one thing that stays with me till date, and it's a constant quest that I want to be amongst the company of great and successful thinkers and people.
So who's next? Rahul ji, Anuj? इतना lost हो गए
Yeah.
looking at.
If I may, yeah, I'll go. Uh, Thanks, Amir, for the question. So one thing which I learned from my father is that whatever problems you have outside of home, you just keep it outside of home. So whenever my father came, we never realized what sort of issues and challenges he faced at his work, any financial issues, any issues related at work. But wherever he was at home, I never knew about it. So this I've tried to inculcate as well. So we all have our challenges in today's professional life, right? So what I try, whatever it is, I try to keep it outside the door when I enter, and try not to get bogged down from the work pressure currently which I have. So that is one thing which I've learned from my father.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. So, one thing which is coming out in this discussion is that each one of us has picked up a trait which is a very basic trait, a very, very simple trait from our respective dads. And of course, I also wanted to just share with all of you that what I learned from my dad. So, my dad, he was also an engineer and working with the public sector, and he held many roles during his career. And one of the most interesting roles which he kept for at least for while I was with him was for the longest period of time was in the procurement department. Now, in a public sector company in procurement, you are really in a hot spot as far as things are concerned, where could be lots of integrity issues can come, where questions on your honesty and all those things can come. And what I realized over a period of time is that it is his spirit of being finding joy in truth that got him to that particular position, and the way he came across to everybody, the sheer honesty. So it's a very simple virtue to say, but a very difficult virtue to pursue, especially in today's time and age. And that for me is one of the biggest learning, and especially it helps me at my workplace also because I take care of fraud control and things like those. So that's a very important virtue that you bring to your workplace, which is simple honesty. And uske alawa, then all other things start coming falling into the into place. And as Nitin talked about the resilience part of it, that is also coming out from the same ethos, being in company of good people, what Kharanshu also talked about, that also coming from the same ethos. And how to balance the personal life and the work life, again, as Anush talked about it, coming from the same ethos. So I think that is a very important learning that I have from my father, and yeah, I'm blessed in that way.
Wow. So let's dive deep in conversation. Can you share a moment where fatherhood changed your perspective on life? So starting.
So
I want someone else.
let me go again here first.
Again, okay, come.
I can say that my thoughts keep coming up.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's good,
Somebody
good.
asked me very recently what was a few moments in a life which changed actually, and I don't know, it just came out from me, and somebody very close to me whom I've met recently and became a brother to me. He asked me, and that one thing which I said was, son up coming into our life, and the fatherhood. So it's like the child is more close to the mother, but then you being around him gives him so much of faith, confidence. And there was a point then we had a difficult time in office, and I used to spend a lot of time in office and not contribute so much in the initial few months and year. And but the bond kept on developing so well, so guarded, and that made me realize my own condition with my father, that the father may not be talking to you always, or may not be you are not physically being present with him, but that creates a bond, and that bond goes a long way in the overall journey. So I think that's the moment which we're talking about when we are talking about this particular topic, of what brought the change, what was the change, that being there, the bonding which you develop with your child, and that gives you so much of confidence, and the child makes you learn how to be patient. And that was something which I actually learned Otherwise, you lose patience in today's world because everyone is Maggie. Everyone wants things like immediate close karo. 2 घंटे में 1 घंटे में नहीं, 2 hours things should get done in 20 minutes. 20 minutes things should be done in 2 minutes. But with a child, you learn how to be patient. You cannot bring the same office cultures the way you are dealing in the world to home and to your child.
Yeah, I completely resonate with Nitinji here. Like being patient is one thing which I have learned, and second is that even though you are right, things will not go your way. You have to bow down. That is what I've learned. And one thing which I have realized that the center of your universe changes slowly. So it is
Yes.
while we say it changes, but slowly you start to realize that now things are not much about you, it is about your child. So for example, when your parents buy something, they first think of your child and not about you, as simple as that. ये इसको पसंद आएगा तो मैं इसके लिए लिया, तेरे लिए नहीं लिया इस बार. These things, obviously the center of universe changes, and yes, patience is something which I'm still learning how to develop. Even though you're right, that becomes the hardest part when you say no, but still your kid will do it. There is
You
no
need to be
option but to
patient.
then
You need to be
bow
patient.
down.
You cannot get solutions and answers from the kid or
Yes, absolutely.
immediately. And you have to be patient, understand him, come to whatever he's thinking, and then deliver it. It's like what
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did.
very true.
I think one thing that changed my perspective about fatherhood is the unconditional hug I get every day the moment I step into my house. And the first thing my son comes is running to me like Papa, and then he comes and hugs you. And suddenly whatever worries that you have at work, they just disappear. Um, so I think it's not one moment, but it's daily. It changes my just perspective about fatherhood. That it's about living in the present. That is what our kids teach us. कि वो ये जवानी है दीवानी में वो डायलॉग है ना, जहाँ है उसी का मजा लेते हैं बनी, sort of thing, so it's like every day, and I commit the same mistake of coming home worried, at times with work, but then that hug changes the perspective, and then again it's the next day the same thing. So I mean, unconditional love is what my son has taught me.
Wow.
Beautifully expressed. So Anuj, coming to your point, so there's this stage which comes when your parents or the kids' grandparents are more interested in kids. So I tried to understand this perspective and I asked my parents, ki, why is this so? So beautiful answer which my dad gave me was that see, you do investment, you will go and maybe go into a fixed deposit or you are going into a mutual fund. So what you would be doing कि अच्छा यहाँ 11% interest मिल रहा है, यहाँ 12% मिल रहा है, you will take out your savings from an 11% and put it into a 12%. So that is why it is called interest, because interest is of more value than the principal. So we as children become the principal and the grandchildren are the interest. So for that, they will be changing rules. So you may go and question your parent ki for so many years in my life, I have been said ki nahi, this you cannot do. But for your grandchild, you are allowing him to do all these things which you have told me not to do. So that's how it is. And I'm sure when Amir does the conversation with amongst again with all of us that how grandfatherhood has changed maybe 10 years, 20 years down the line. So maybe at that point of time we will be able to understand these emotions better.
Very true. Very true.
And a very beautiful thing what Kharanshu you have been talking about, that when you come home, there is this age when you would be the superhero for your kid. Okay. But let me warn you that this age is also short-lived.
Yeah.
There will be a stage which will come कि dad, you don't know anything. The world is not like this. This is not how things happen. You are outdated. So be prepared for those incidents also.
I'm
And
making hay while the sun shines, is that was
absolutely, absolutely, that's the best thing to do. And see somewhere what we should understand as a parent is कि we also went through the same cycle.
Yes.
yeah.
We also went through the same cycle, and the most important event that makes you realize what fatherhood is. There is no way that you can understand what fatherhood is without becoming a father. It is at that moment of time that you get this realization, acha ye, this is what fatherhood is. and
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 you
and
realize and you
yeah,
realize how wrong we were with our parents.
absolutely, absolutely. And then it's a bit too late to even regret, or you can do nothing about it. And that's what
Yeah.
becomes our responsibility, is that okay, we be better parents for our kids, and that's our entire goal, which is so I was just discussing this quite a few years back with my wife also. So what happens for a mother is that and just to give you a slightly a different perspective, is ki once the mother goes through the labor pain, that she realizes ki, oh my god, that is what my mother would have gone through. Fortunately or unfortunately, as fathers, you can't go through that physical labor per se. So that's when the realization happens, when you hold the kid in your hand, or you go to school one day, ki, okay, you get him admitted, or even simple things that, like, to put your kid into the school bus, and at that moment you feel कि अरे मैंने इसको भेज दिया, पता नहीं कहाँ जाएगा, क्या होगा, बच्चा बस में सेफ है कि नहीं है, and that's when you realize what your parents would have gone through when you were doing all these things and what you were up to. I think that's very important for us to keep as a benchmark, as a yardstick each time we behave as a father.
Wow. Okay. So my next question will be, how do you co-parent or share responsibilities with your spouse partner? And what's worked or not worked?
Nitin, third time lucky.
And now he's thinking.
No,
No, well,
this is slightly difficult one, I would want to say, and this is something कि झगड़े हो जाएंगे.
so
So,
I mean, I'll go. I mean, I think I think the generation that we are living in, it's become a bit more open. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि ये तेरा काम है, ये मेरा काम है. Um, it's like at what point in time you are occupied, you need some rest. It's a bit more considerate. So at our place, I equally enjoyed changing his nappies. I equally enjoy taking him to a bath. I equally enjoy making him learn how to pee as a man, to be honest. So it's never been honestly between us that this is your job, this is my job. I equally enjoy making him have his lunch and dinner. I think the only thing that I don't do good, which is my wife does amazing, is tell him mythological stories. So that's one part I think is what my wife does. And I also sit listening to them because I'm poor at that. But other than that, it's all even Stevens. I mean, if sometimes my wife has some work and she's a psychologist, if she has some sessions to be taken, happily take it up. And there's no boundary of things per se. Usko sulana hai, that also I enjoy.
Wow. So what's coming next?
So, if to put my perspective to this, so as there's that famous joke which is there, that whatever are the bigger problems in the world, those can be solved by men, but the smaller problems are taken care by women. So bigger problems, I mean, whether Operation Sindoor was correct or not, and how it should have been done, or what's happening in, say, Jerusalem and in Palestine. Those could be things wherein I can have my opinion. But then on other things, it is more that okay, what school the kid should go to, and what should be there for lunch and dinner, those things can be taken care by the better half, and that's why they are the better halves. So that can be one of the views that anybody can have. But I will put a different point over there, is that whenever your kids comes to you asking for something, for especially taking some permission or anything of that sort, rest assured that the kid has been said a no by the mom, and that is why he has approached you. So that thing you always need to remember, and that is a very important learning which I have had in my parenthood journey.
There's an echo is coming. Yeah.
So I'll go from here. I think Mr. Parikh said it all right. Parikh Jin said all right. We are living in a different generation where it's no more like a generation where you can say that this is my work or that work. And what Rahul ji also put through was absolutely right. And I have actually experienced that when the kid has actually heard it no, he reaches out to you. And if you look about the see this is the era where where both the parents are supporting the kid. It's not the era where and both the parents are professionals, maybe working around, or maybe the housemaker also, they have realized the importance of the work what they're delivering and doing. So it's no more a time where you call it a shared responsibility. It's a time when you call it our own responsibility, and everyone does whatever it is. Like maybe somebody specializes on something, and somebody does not. But everyone sometimes, honestly speaking, you see mother taking a role of a father or father taking a role of a mother, if you look at from that angle. So I can only say that there is no more a division, or no more a coexistence of the work. It's like we are doing all together for the kid, is what I can say.
I think, just to add on, now people don't say that my wife is pregnant. People say we are pregnant.
Yes.
That's like the real big change that has come.
Yeah.
And that's a real big mindset change.
Beautiful. Yes, Anuj.
Yeah, no, I agree with what Nitin and Kharanshu just said. So because see, now there is no nothing that this is my work, this is your work. We both have to do the things which we have to do. Maybe one is better at something, the other is better at something else. But there is no saying that this is your work or this is my work. So say right from cleaning the nappies to preparing food to putting the kid to sleep, teaching them, taking them out, as and when you are free, you do it. Sometimes I have some important thing to do, my wife will work from home, or vice versa. If she has to go out, she'll be running late, I'll do so. This is like a partnership and a team which we have to go through. So there's no
Wow.
one specific role here.
Wow. Okay. Now we are going memories down the lane. What's your favorite bonding ritual with your child?
I think Anuj, अभी आपको जाना चाहिए पहले.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, sure. So my favorite time with my daughter is with and I'm about to put her to sleep at night. Every night before she sleeps, so we have a small swing at home. So I'll just put her there. I'll just swing her around for around 10-15 minutes. Then I'll ask her what she did for the day again, even though I've asked her again, but she'll still say the same thing. And then over a course of time, she'll eventually get to sleep. Then the joy of picking her up and just putting to sleep. Yeah, that is something which I look forward to every day. Yeah,
So
that's it.
I feel answering his all his questions, like he take you as like someone who knows everything, and then you are supposed to answer whatever is there is query in his mind. Even though he gets those answer from anyone else, he will validate that with you, and sometime in validation he will say that he knows it. He knows this point something better than you, and you are not aware of it. And this is what the interaction, that talking what you have with him, and he looks up to you, that you are there to answer all my queries, everything whatever I ask for. That is one aspect which I think I look go down the memory lane, and I still he's so inquisitive. The child is so inquisitive. They keep on asking you, and you need to get down to their own understanding level, because sometimes your own maturity doesn't help you. You what and explain the very question what he has asked in his own format, in his own way, so that he understand. If he doesn't understand, he'll keep on asking you. So this takes me back to my own very small concept of life. If you have not understood it, don't say yes. Just keep asking queries, and that's what the child teaches you back again.
Wow.
So for me, like most of the kids, even my son really likes songs. So the ritual that he and I have is uh, we'll go for a drive, and between the driver and the shotgun seat, nowadays there's a place to sit. So he'll sit there, and he'll have the phone in his hand, and we have a playlist, and it'll be like one favorite song of his and one favorite song of Papa. And we'll go for a half an hour, 45-minute drive. And we both will be singing. He will be singing in his own broken ways, which is very, very cute and amazing. And we will be grooving and dancing. But those half an hour, 45 minutes is like a ritual at least once a week. I make sure he and I do. And it is just nothing. We are just roaming around in the car, listening to the same repeat playlist after a point in time, and it involves maybe a Natu Kutu also, and a Jingle Bell also, and a Lakdi Ki Kati also. But those are just so amazing moments, and that is one ritual that he only does it with me, not even his mother. So that's like really special and sacred for both of us.
Wow.
Beautiful. So for me, my favorite time with my kid, or rather the interesting bonding time that we have, is usually when the mom is away. So there are occasions when my wife would have gone to her parents' place or something of that sort, and then that's the party time for us. And with my son, I have been to pop dates and wherever you would imagine us to be going out and having a good dinner and things like those. So we really value that, and it's a really interesting bonding experience. And of course, as he is now grown up, I'm looking forward to more such sessions and meeting and discussions with him there.
Wow. Beautiful.
Thank you for prepping us कि क्या करना पड़ेगा जब बच्चा 18 का हो.
Yeah. So now sensitive question. How do you ensure emotional safety and open communication with your kids?
So I'll go with, on this again.
Yeah.
Um, so I feel today is the information age, it's not the age when your kids will not meet people, not interact, or not see things. And we all know this. It's easier said than done to talk to them, whatever they see, whatever, and replenish their inquisitive brain, and bringing the right set of thoughts. But being more transparent, being more honest, and explaining them whatever it is. And let's say it's a very sensitive question in today's age. The school itself teaches you what are your private parts and all of that, and sensitive in that part. And kids knows about it. And if we are trying to hide it, then just think about it. Society is taking them to one set of answers or like queries, and we are going towards another set of answers or queries. So this is one age wherein we should keep more transparent, more interacting, and give them more information from our own self rather than hide things from them.
I think Rahul ji will have the most interesting and the toughest thing on this front, having two teenagers at home.
Yes.
Yeah. See, basically, as Nitin is also talking about, is the kids get an exposure from lot of various sources, and you have to keep that channel of communication open, wherein you can add value to that, and they will come back to you. And as in the earlier answer, also Nitin, you were talking about that they will come to validate the answers with you. So let me put it in a very different way, and how I have understood this. When we were kids, we our parents had two remarkable inputs that we didn't have. One was knowledge, the other was experience. So they used to impart their knowledge and experience to us, and that's how we grew up. But at today's time and age, the only thing that we as a parent have is experience. In terms of knowledge, the kid has much better knowledge with the exposure that they have in areas of their interest. See, they would know what exactly is going on in fields of their own interest. They would be coming back to you and telling you, ki, okay, dad, this is a good college, this is not a good college, this is a good school, this is not a good school. These people are the people with whom I want to interact because they come from households which are as compared to mine, and they come and teach you also on these things. They educate you on these things. You have to keep that channel of communication open, understand what they are talking about, and be with them. So you do have to expose your vulnerable side to the kid. You cannot be ki, I know everything, because you don't know, and it is not possible also for you to know. And another important thing what I have realized uh, is about the sort of pressures that they face in today's time and age. See, we as parents might be saying कि भाई I am not insisting that this is what my son should be, कि भाई बेटा तुम क्लास में फर्स्ट आना, क्लास में सेकंड आना, तुम स्पोर्ट्स में फर्स्ट आना. You may not be insisting those things at home. You may not be putting all those pressures on your kid, but somewhere the kid is getting that pressure because of the peer pressure which he or she is facing out there in the society, in the school, in the locality that you are. And that pressure you need to reduce. So that is a very important role that you need to play as a parent in reducing that role and pressure. And the other is that to keep the communication channels always open. That's the only thing you can do. You can't teach them. They are going to learn not from what you say, but from what you do.
Very true.
So I think uh, I mean the same. I had similar thoughts of what Rahul ji mentioned in terms of vulnerability. Is it's about how you behave. आपका वर्तन कैसा है, especially between you and your wife and or at home. That really impacts as to how the kid is going to feel safe to share things. Um, if he sees that the father is apologizing to the mom for committing a mistake and vice versa, he's going to come out, be more honest, and do the same. So it's about your own, personality that you carry and how you behave. And second, not to elaborate much on, but Rahulji touched upon a brilliant point is the vulnerability part. As males, it's difficult to be vulnerable, but I think it's one of the most important qualities of today. And if you show your kid that even you are vulnerable and prone to mistakes, or those kind of things, that automatically he or she will be more open to those things. So it's a combination of being more vulnerable, how you behave, and not shout at them. Always reason out. Okay, you were wrong, so why you thought you were wrong, And this I've learned from my wife because she's a psychologist and she reasons out everything he does. So these are the three things that kind of really matter in giving them an open platform and that safety to come out and speak openly.
So true. I can only just add something here. I think this is absolutely good knowledge what I have learned, and I can just relate few things. Today, information is available. What we have is experience, what we carry upon, and and it's more advisable to share the experience because the kid has more knowledge, more information than what we also hold. Sometime we feel.
Yes,
So
Anuj, your parting remarks.
So this line what Rahulji said is absolutely true. This was an eye opener for me, to be honest. Experience is what we will be looked upon for, and not for knowledge. Yeah. And second thing is again the environment which you give it at home, right? Is what Kharanshu said, like how open it is. If the child knows that he or she has done something wrong, he can still approach the parents knowing that they will still listen to me, understand why this happened, without directly coming to the conclusion, right? It was your fault, or what, why did you did such a thing. So unless the child has that confidence that even though it is an issue, it is a mistake which has done, and is apologetic about it, and then he can still feel a safe area within you, and the child knows that you will be there, so that the child doesn't worry much about that. Yeah, so that safe environment needs to be created. Yeah.
Wow, beautiful. So I'm sharing two serials for you to watch and follow. One is Pushpa Impossible, and second one is Wagle Ki Duniya, where
yeah.
Pushpa has open communication relation with the children. Same uh, Rajesh Wagle, the senior Wagles are having with their children. Beautiful two serials on Sony, sir. Very inspiring. Okay, now let's go again. Memories down the lane. A parenting moment that made you laugh out loud.
Yeah, I'll go here. I'll go here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So so so
All
so
of
so,
us are
the,
very excited.
so I'll be honest. So this is like a recent scenario where we were just going through our marriage photos, right? And my daughter is like, मम्मी पापा ये आप हो? बोला, हाँ ये तो फिर मैं किधर हूँ इसमें? Yeah, and we honestly couldn't give her a proper explanation. Yeah, so that we just looked at each other, my wife and I, we didn't have an answer what to tell, what not to tell. So yeah, we do laugh a lot about that. Yeah.
So who's next?
So I can say that there is moment every time, lot many times when the child makes you laugh, and sometimes they speak so funny, so honest things to you, and the so rational reasoning they take out in front of you. You're like, yeah, like what is to be answered here, what is to be said, and that's what they that makes you. And as Anuj said, where am I in this marriage photograph? And they ask you so weird question, why not this? But I what I've learned from all this laughing and all this moment without sharing that moment also is like you need to give reasons and explain them everything. If you don't give the reason and no, they will not take it. This is not the age of child where you say yes or no. This you don't have to do. They will not take it. That is what the moment is. And I feel what makes me laugh every time when he asks such very funny idiot questions like where am I in this photograph, as you said, or he says to me, "Ki, why can't I cook the food? Why the fire is hot?" And these things, it makes you laugh. You're like, what to say, what to answer here? Yeah, this is what it is. So that makes you laugh every time. Every moment it makes you laugh.
So, as Nitin ji said, there are a lot of fun moments, along the way. But one that really stands out, I mean, uh, I really laugh on it. It's super fun, but it sometimes also shows the creativity of the kid. And but today I fear if I'm going to say this, and after 15 years, if he's ever going to watch this, he's going to kill me. He's like, Papa, what have you done? Why did you do this to me? But but I'll still go ahead because it's very funny. So he loves Spider-Man. And obviously we don't have a Spider-Man mask because that can be too suffocating for him. But what he has is a Spider-Man underwear, where at the center there is Spider-Man. So just because he wants to be a Spider-Man and it is a black colored underwear, he wears it on his face. Okay, and obviously a washed one. He wears it on his face, where at the center there is Spider-Man, and then he goes around, those with those webs like tish 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 tish, like as if he feels he's a Spider-Man. And that is so funny because it just makes me laugh at how kids think and the innocence of it. And again the creativity that hey, I can't get a mask, but yeah, why can't I make this as a mask? Because it exactly fits like a mask. So that is one thing which really is one of the moments which really makes me laugh. It is that,
Absolutely, absolutely. I think Kharanshu, all the sons do keep doing all such activity.
yeah,
My son copies me, whenever I talk at home and I'm doing a work from home and he sees me and he
yeah.
just say, "Yes, sir. Why are you not doing this? Sir, you should have done this." He just sit in front of the laptop and he start talking to the other side. He like, hey, what he's doing? He's just taking the role out in of you. And he says, "Sir, you should come to me. Why you're not doing this work?" So there's a lot of moment which they keep telling you.
I mean, there are a lot of moments because I mean, my wife keeps telling him that, "Are you listening to me? I'm saying something." And at times, if my wife is talking to me and if he's called her 3 times, he said, "Mama, are you listening to me? I have called you." It's like how they pick up from you. Those are like real
Yes,
fun and good moments.
yes.
But this Spider-Man has always been like, even if he's not around and I just think of it and I'm like, wow, क्या सोचता है यार बंदा? And he's so excited to do that.
Very interesting
Yes,
story.
Rahulji.
So I will share a story which didn't really make me laugh at that point of time. It made me cry, but then now we look back at that story, and it's one of our favorite stories. So after my son was born, he was born, of course, at my in-laws' place, and for about 40 days he was there with his grandparents, and of course my wife was also recovering and things like those. And of course, I went during the delivery time when he was born and all, and I spent some time with him, came back, again went back for some time, and then after 40 days, the kid and mother come back to home, and now we are on our own. And we need to figure out how we raise the child on our own, because the entire help that we had from the grandparents is no longer around us. So I the challenge which we started facing was that whenever my son is crying or he has a problem, and my wife has to do something, so she is doing her own work of maybe taking some care in the kitchen, or just maybe preparing the water bottles for the kid, and there's 100 other things that you need to do. And when I take my kid in my lap, he starts crying because he doesn't recognize me, and he is crying at the top of his voice because he doesn't recognize me. He's saying, who is this stranger who is picking me up? I am crying because my kid is not recognizing me. What is this going on in my life? And my wife is more frustrated because she has a whole list of things to take care of it, and the two men in her life are crying. So for us that became a very interesting moment, and it seemed ki, okay, how do you come up with this situation and how you grow out of those situations? So that was for me a very interesting memory which we carry till today.
Okay. So my next question will be, has being a father changed your leadership style or approach at work?
Absolutely. I think what I have gained being a father in terms of my leadership style is getting empathy in my work, understanding what's going on with the other sides, other my juniors or whoever I work, my teammates, understanding there are problems in their own life, and being empathetic to things, and just not accepting that it's an excuse being made by the other side. And that leadership skill have actually helped me to grow, because once the other side starts building the trust on you, which I develop on the child and child has on me, and that trust comes within the team, then the work becomes very smooth, and you really feel in protected in the hands of your own team. Your team members actually help you like your own child, your own family members. So I think that you learn from while you grow the child, while you are with the child, that you learn that empathy you learn from him, and that you bring to the table. Because the over a period, what are we taught, and what are we actually made to do the work is like, we are here to work, we are here to work and keep working, nothing else. And the empathy goes out during our own transition. But the moment you get a child in your life, he gets back that empathy in you.
Ah, beautiful.
So, uh, I mean, it's fatherhood is like doing an MBA course without doing the MBA course. You learn so much, and at the top of the list for me also, as Nitinji mentioned, is empathy. Uh, uh, it teaches you a whole lot about humanity. Frankly speaking. But along with that, I think all of us have spoken in this past 40 minutes. It's about acceptance, it's about patience. That things are really important when you are leading a side. And it's not just from a perspective of how you're going to conduct, but people look up to you from a culture point of view. And if you as a leader aren't, showcasing those empathy or those patience-driven qualities, or acceptance of, at times when people go wrong, I think the rest of the team members or the culture is not going to flow that way. And I think as much as we try to dissect personal and professional, beyond a point, as humans, we will not be able to do that. The certain first principles and key traits always remain at both places. the same. So fatherhood does teach a lot in terms of qualities from a leadership point of view.
Yeah, I completely agree. Empathy and patience, and also just one more thing I would like to add is to you learn to become more accommodative as a person. So there are like some areas that this is not something a particular skill which a person is actually good at. Maybe it is better that let us give it more time for that person to learn, handhold them, right? And there are certain areas which the person is very good at, let them do it their way. They are the masters of that, will not get involved. But again, yeah, there are so that is where I learned, like the small things, right? If somebody is running late, the first thing I was, why are you late today? So I have that privilege of coming by a car, but the other person is coming by a train or something. There is something. So those all areas I've tried to curve it down and not to just get into my head, and also be more empathetic here, because everybody has their own set of problems and issues at home. They try not to bring at office and at the issues at office at work. So that is definitely what I've learned here.
Also, how you kind of share your thoughts with a fresher who's just joined, because I
Exactly.
believe there's a fresher in so many things, and the kind of patience you need to show with that person, and explain them in the most simplest manner, so that they understand it well.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, a
Abs- abs-
really
Absolutely. The only downside I feel sometimes is that we become too Gyani Babas, to be honest, in this scenario.
वो वो लीडरशिप का एक कौन है,
Uh,
मतलब प्रो नहीं है, कौन है, वो हम बन ही जाते हैं.
That yes, you are right. That happens very naturally, and patience is actually one of the most important virtue that parenthood teaches you. Even if you are not patient, at least to pretend कि हाँ I am calm, I am in control of the situation, हाँ हो जाएगा. The very interesting thing when I was thinking and listening to this conversation, which came across to my mind, was that there are many things that we learn in our professional careers, because see, each one of us has been a professional for more number of years than we have been as parents. That's the fact. And one of the very interesting skills that we have learned as a professional is problem solving. So many of the situations which you face at home, okay, your son will come, your kid will come to you and say, ki, okay, I have this problem, or this is what I have faced. Okay, let's make a project out of it. This is the way we can go approach it. You start doing some follow-ups at home. After a while, it can backfire to you also. So that care that you should take. But then problem solving is one thing which I have used many a times from my professional career back in my personal life in being a parent too.
Wow. Okay. So I'll keep it my last question, but you can continue the conversation. What stereotypes around fatherhood do you think still needs to be broken?
yeah. Just the one which we discussed earlier, right? That fathers can't be vulnerable. They don't have an emotional side to themselves. Oh yeah, that is something which I believe is changing, and it is good that it is changing, because again, we would be able. So the moment we become more transparent, the child automatically will learn more from, not only from the mother but also from us. Yeah.
Beautiful.
I
So
think
Anuj, here I would like to just add something. We believe that emotional side of fathers is not accepted, but let me just go back to the mythologies and the stories which we hear.
Please.
So Dashrath is one of the favorite examples. People talk about Dashrath as a father, and he had a very strong attachment with his son, and that is why he passed away when his son left him. So that is an emotional angle of things. So society does talk about emotional fathers. There's this entire story, and nobody knows whether it's a fact or not, wherein they say that when Humayun was unwell, Babar felt ki, oh, my son is unwell, and he even made a sort of a pledge. He let him be fine, and then let God take my own life. So there is an emotional angle of fathers which is associated, but it's just that it's maybe not talked about as much, or it's not looked at it from that perspective of
Agreed.
things.
Agreed, sir. But only thing is, it is at the time of their last moments which they do realize, and not during their journey, which is not getting called out. Is what I was just trying to highlight.
No, 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 absolutely right. No, no, I understand from where you're coming. Thanks.
So, um, I mean, I think during the initial part, I said that we only realize how close we are to our fathers once our fathers are no more. Um, and that one stereotype is men don't cry. No, but men cry, and rather men cry. Say the men want to cry. They just don't know how to cry and when to cry. But men also want to cry. This is one big stereotype I think that needs to be busted. It's crying is nothing to do with feminism. बट जब हम छोटे थे तो हमेशा ऐसे बोलते थे, जब हम रोते थे तो कह रहे क्या लड़की पना कर रहा है, and that's kind of wired in our mind, and that's not okay. Just like anger, crying is an emotion and it makes you feel good. um, so I think as much as vulnerability as a concept is picking up in the male arena, it's the softer side which still at times, is just that you're coming from a patriarchal society of things. So वो थोड़ा आ ही जाता है कि आई एम द मैन ऑफ द फैमिली, पीपल लुक अप टू मी, आई कैन नॉट शो माई इमोशंस. I can only maybe be vulnerable in front of my wife or my best friend. And But that's not the case with women. If they want to cry, they will cry, in front of anybody. But वो as men it is very difficult because हमें वो सिखाया ही नहीं है, बचपन से ही कुछ अलग बोला गया है. So, softer side of men and this stereotype that men can't cry is not that men want to cry, it's just they don't know how and when to cry.
I would rather give a thought here and talk something slightly different. We all know the stereotypes what fathers are, and like we said about same things like the crying. We are supposed to be someone very strong-headed, not be very firm. But I believe like the one stereotype which should be there, we should go out and move away from that. We are not the only one in the world taking care of you. The world is taking care for you, and we should bring that point that the child should never feel that. Though we always do that, that develop that much of connection. My father is there, everything is there, but that emotional detachment should be there sometime. And I just want to give some thought here because this is what I feel. The more your child gets emotionally attached, which I also had a feeling, and the more loneliness you feel. So, that detachment should be taught to the child.
Mm. So, Rahulji, your last comments.
So one stereotype is that we always talk about that father would know everything and things like those. But what I have used very effectively and that really helps me whenever you are stuck and there is a question that you don't know an answer to, which your kid posts to you. So a very simple trick over there is that you answer in just two words, which is ask mom, and all your problems will be taken care of. So I think that's a trick that we should follow more often, and there's no shying away from that point.
Yes.
Wow.
Accepting that you don't know this is also very important.
Wow. Beautiful. So it was a wonderful conversation, panel discussion. So, what an inspiring and emotional ride today's conversation has been. As we celebrate Father's Day, let's not just gift ties and cards, but truly honor the evolution of fatherhood. To all the dads who show up not only with strength but also with softness, to those who are writing a new script, one filled with empathy, equality, and emotional connection, this is your moment. Until our next cup of conversation, keep evolving, keep engaging, and keep bringing your whole self to the ones who call you dad. So, here's to every dad choosing presence over perfection. And thank you to all the panelists. We went down memory lanes to the present moment and to the future. So, Thank you for your time and the wonderful discussion we had. And I hope all our children will get to watch this, and whenever they will give salute, कि yes, I'm proud to
Kharanshu will have a
be
difficult time
son
with the
of.
Spider-Man story. When the children watches it, the Kharanshu will have a difficult time with the Spider-Man story.
I, I,
Kharanshu खेलने होने वाला है, but you will laugh with him, na?
yeah. I
You'll
mean,
have good times. Yeah,
that's what
every
we
child gives
spoke
that
about
ये
open
moment.
communication. No, I'll create that arena of open communication before that. No, but like,
So,
Amirji, really, thank you so much. And at the start, Rahulji and I were discussing that it is a very tricky topic. We've actually, if it's about work या कुछ तो यार बहुत easily बात हो जाती है. But इसके बारे में कुछ बात करना है तो you have to really rack your brain. कभी सोचा ही नहीं है.
Yeah, sir.
Real thanks to you. I really like the topic, providers to partners, and may this be like a movement, and lot more content is out on this, and lot more people talk about it so freely, because there is not much people talk on. Everybody talks on motherhood and what a mother goes through during those 9 months and after that, in terms of postpartum and all. But what a fatherhood, what the father goes through और आपको क्या फील होता है वो बहुत कम लोग जानते हैं और पूछते हैं. So thank you so much for this. It was a very, very wonderful evening that I've
Yes.
spent with four of you all. I will always remember and cherish this all my life. So thank you so much.
so thanks are less if I say, Amir, what a wonderful opportunity you've given to all of us to interact, to think about some topic. We are so busy in our life, we can't take calls. We are so busy in our work, our household, then our relationships with families, with our friends. We don't sit back and talk on something which we all think about it, and we don't interact. Even with our friends, we don't talk about such topics, such discussions. So I think you have actually made the evening very meaningful, and it's all I can say again. Thanks is all less what I can say here. Yeah, fabulous choosing of the topic, and I'm very honored and privileged to be here among you, all of you, discussing on such a sensitive and an important topic for our society.
Thank you so
From
much,
Anuj and
Amir.
Rahul, some parting.
Yeah, thank you so much, Amir, for this conversation. It has been a great learning experience and got a lot of interesting perspectives, and
Yes.
it's been a good hour spent, easily put.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Amir, yeah, for selecting such a different topic. And it actually had to take a step back and think what exactly do I need to actually say, right? Because it is something which never came to my mind till date, right? And yeah, I'm really happy to interact with such a great panel here. Everyone has its own share of beautiful experiences and wisdom to give, right? So I'll just experience and knowledge. I'll just take this away with me. We will just be there for the experience and not for the knowledge. Yeah. Thank you, sir, Rahul sir, for that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why it's by God's grace. This panelist choosing is also a divine timing. Sorry, a divine thing, whom to select. And so I'm very glad that all of you all, from young to senior, and Nitin and Anuj in between. So सबका एक्सपीरियंस ना, व्हेन वी गो फॉर थाली ना, अलग अलग डिश आती है. सो इट्स आज अपन एक थाली खा रहे हैं विद एवरी वन. सो यू ऑल इनवाइटेड, लेट्स कंटिन्यू कॉन्वर्सेशन एंड ये गो फॉर थाली. सो बिकॉज करांशु इज ऑल्सो अपना गुजराती, हम ऑल्सो गुजराती, थाली तो बनती है.
Absolutely.
So Nitin, you have to come down. We all
I
from Mumbai.
definitely, I would love to spend that time with you, all of you all.
So अपना enjoy your day, and we meet with another panel discussion, fireside chat. I just wanted to update what new activities are happening now. Uh, we are starting with fireside chat. One is that. Then a coffee speaker of the month. So you will be getting messages, and some have already been selected for their contribution. Third is we are coming on Spotify. So as per the a request and meeting with the mentors, so many more things. So you people inspire us to do more things, and this topic also came from coffee speakers to go for this. What do you say? No one has ever taken up this topic, and I am also very dedicating to my late father, so because he has been my inspiration for skill development, learning development, so many things. And we continue this conversation, and we have kept uh, a coffee conversation a social initiative. So thank you for being part of the coffee tribe, and we meet in person and carry that smiles. So
Thanks,
take.
Amir.
Definitely.
Thanks,
Thank,
Amir.
thank you
Looking
very much.
forward.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thanks
so
everyone.
much.
Rahul,
And
So
Kharanshu, Anuj.
when this episode is live, show it to your wife, your
Definitely.
children, your parents, and share your feedback. Okay, how was it? So next Father's Day next year May, we'll do something. I am just thinking aloud. Get your ye fathers along and have that conversation. Just
So true.
see,
Great.
we have to bring that excitement.
Yes.
क्या करने का? So let's do that. Chalo.
Perfect.
So
absolutely.
keep
Yeah.
Thank you so
continuing.
much.
Thanks.
And
Thanks, Amir.
before we go,
Thanks,
happy
everyone.
Father's Day to everybody in advance.
Yes,
Likewise,
yes.
happy
Happy
Father's
Father's
Day
Day.
to everybody.
Yeah, yeah. Happy Father's Day, everyone. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Thank
And
you, everybody.
Nitin, I can relate कि same time पे अपना ये and by the way I was at Mehrabad, Avatar Mehrabad's ashram, and I was just returning back home, and around ये in the bus I was just returning group bus, and my mom had called up कि why this has happened.
So
So it
something
was
similar. I was at Pune. I was going back to Bombay, and this happened.
क्या बात है लगता है both fathers holding elder brothers in the
Uh,
past something like that.
yeah.
So okay, so
So
take care,
great. Yeah.
we meet
Thank you
soon.
very much.
Yep.
Thanks.
Thank
Thanks.
you so much
Bye-bye.
once again,
Yeah.
Thanks.
everybody.
Thanks. Thanks,
Bye.
Amir.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.